Ahoy travelers, welcome back to another episode of Nomad Travel Adventures. Simon here, and I am currently in the capital of the Czech Republic. Today I'm very excited because I am going to be taking you through the city of Prague. Now this city has been on my list for quite some time, and I will be showing you some of the top tourist destinations while giving you tips, tricks, and everything in between so that you're able to better plan out your trip. Now before I do that, I do want to go ahead and say thank you to everyone who has been watching these videos. Your support means everything to me, and if you haven't already done so, do subscribe to my channel. I just got done with my India videos, so I will be taking a big trip, and that will be coming up very soon. But for now, let's go ahead and explore the magical city of Prague.
Are you going to travel to the magical city of Prague? This city had been on my list for a long time. Famous for their majestic castles, walking down the city can make you feel like you're in a fairy tale. History comes alive as we explore the streets of the capital of the Czech Republic, and I take you on a tour through some of the top things to do. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride through what's been one of my favorite European cities, the wonderful city of Prague.
I'm currently standing in front of the beating heart of Prague tourism, the Old Town Square. This is a pretty cool hangout spot where lots of people come, and it's home to many landmarks such as the Gothic Church of Our Lady Before Thine and the famous Prague Astronomical Clock. There's also a bunch of statues around which you can definitely check out, but the cool thing about here is that during Christmas and Easter, they actually turn it into a marketplace. So there is not a marketplace today, however, I will be transporting you back into time as we check out the Old Town Square.
Want to go to a cool hangout spot? Drop by the Old Town Square, where you can come and chill before checking out some of the major tourist attractions in Prague. Millions of people from all over the world stop by this tourist hotspot where they can decide between several options, sitting on one of the benches by the John Hus Memorial, or getting the most out of their tourism by checking out the Gothic architecture of the Church of Our Lady Before Thine. Prague Astronomical Clock is definitely the highlight, so I recommend that you wait with the crowd for the next show, which is performed by the different figurines at the top. It doesn't last long, but at least you experience a bit of the charming quirkiness of this magical city.
Actually standing in front of our next tourist destination, the Charles Bridge. This historic bridge actually crosses the Vltava River and is the second oldest bridge in the Czech Republic. The cool thing about it is that it has a lot of statues that you can check out, and it is the most important connection between the Prague Castle and the Old Town. So before you head over to the Prague Castle, make sure you check out the Charles Bridge.
As we head deeper into Prague tourism, we come to a part of the town where the narrow streets are covered in people coming and going, and where we will find another historic attraction that dates all the way back to the 15th century. Charles Bridge makes it to the top of the list because of its rich history. Feel history come alive as you walk through one of the most important connections between Prague Castle and the city's Old Town area. Stop to admire the epic views of the river as you take in the stories told by the statues. This is a perfect place to get some souvenirs or buy something for your trip. It's not that long of a bridge, so you probably won't spend more than an hour max, and it's the perfect walk to get to our next top tourist attraction.
Now I just want to explain to you a little bit about this next tourist attraction, as no trip to Prague would be complete without checking out the Prague Castle. Now, it is sitting on top of the hill overlooking the entire town, so if you're one for views, this is a good one. Now we're going to actually be going to the old royal palace section of the Prague Castle, and it's known for its gothic architecture. Stay tuned, guys, as we tour the Prague Castle.
As we continue our tour of top things to do in Prague, we begin to explore the Prague Castle. Don't get it wrong though, this section includes several attractions within the castle grounds, which takes us to number 3, the Old Royal Palace. One of the oldest parts of the Prague Castle, this has to be one of the most architecturally appealing structures to visit in Prague. I'm talking specifically about the Grand Vladislav Hall, which leads you inside to experience firsthand the space used by Czech princesses, and later it became the king's own palace. So enjoy some fabulous views while exploring the ancient relics of a castle's past. This is a pretty fun one to do and won't take you more than an hour and a half at most.
Now travelers, I am standing in front of St. Peters Cathedral, which is our next tourist destination. It's actually the largest cathedral here in Prague. Coronations were actually held here, and it's connected to some of the most famous personalities in Czech history. So let's check out some of the history here.
Now it's time to head over to another section of the Prague Castle, where we will enter the largest cathedral in all of the Czech Republic, St. Peters Cathedral. This prominent piece of Gothic architecture contains the tombs of many Bohemian kings and Holy Roman emperors, so it's no surprise that tourists from all over the world come to marvel at its magnificence. Get in line as you wait to enter one of the most influential churches in all of Prague's history. Founded in the year 925, a lot of things have happened here, from your typical religious services to coronation. The cathedral is also a current burial place for several patron saints, noblemen, and archbishops. Most notable, though, is the incredible religious relics found within the unique Gothic architecture. Although it's pretty big, this one took me less than an hour, but I did manage to extend my time around the area by visiting the castle garden nearby, which was the perfect way to escape the crowd while getting to enjoy some really nice views.
Now, this next tourist attraction is also part of the Prague Castle, and it is the Golden Lane. So it's basically a street with brightly colored painted houses, which many of them are now just souvenir shops. Let's go check out this cool street.
As we leave St. Peters Cathedral, prepare yourself to enter one of the smaller but definitely most fun parts of the Prague Castle, the Golden Lane. Originally built in the 16th century, Golden Lane gets its name from the goldsmiths that used to live there throughout the 17th century. It's basically a tiny street of brightly colored houses, which are home to many souvenir shops and exhibitions about life on the lane over the past 500 years. This seriously felt like it was straight up from a fairy tale, and make sure that you give yourself enough time to really explore. You do have to pay about €10 to get in, but it's free if you wait after castle closing hours. Also, keep an eye out for house number 22, where famous writer Franz Kafka lived and worked from 1916 to 1917. Otherwise, just enjoy some of the best souvenir shopping in all of Prague.
Okay, so now we're getting ready to go to Lefkowitz Palace, which was built in the second half of the 16th century. It's mostly an art museum, and it currently has 22 galleries. The cool thing about this place is that you can actually find original manuscripts and early prints of composers like Mozart and Beethoven.
This next tourist attraction was made possible through the legacy of one family, the Lefkowitz family. Thanks to them, you can pay close to 11 euros and get to witness the outstanding collection handed down through their generations. Get your free audio guide ready as we embark on a journey through this extensive museum. See everything from their exceptional collection of arms and armor, to hand-annotated manuscripts boasting some of the most famous works by Mozart and Beethoven. If you want to relive history and immerse yourself in true royal culture, spend up to 2 hours at the Lefkowitz Palace Museum.
Hey guys, so after a pretty jam-packed day yesterday, it is time to continue our tour to Prague. So stay tuned, because right now I am actually going to take you to one of the more architecturally complex buildings here in Prague. It is called the Dancing House. This building was actually inspired by two of the famous dancers, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. So if you know these two, maybe you can check out this building. Anyways, stay tuned because there's a lot more coming up, and I will see you at the next tourist destination.
Walking a little further into the heart of Prague tourism, we head over to what I would call one of the most peculiar sites to visit in Prague. Originally inspired by the zany duo Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, this building has become one of the most extravagant displays of modern architecture. A favorite among Instagrammers, the wacky distortions on this building make it a perfect photo op for anyone looking to capture memorable moments during their trip. So, enter through the hotel, go up the elevator to the top floor, and head down to the terrace, where you will get one of the most amazing views of Prague. But first, stop for a nice cup of coffee, or be like me and get some tea instead. You're required to buy something at the cafeteria in order to enjoy the outside views, which in my opinion was totally worth it. Oh, and don't forget to check out the giant metal ball at the top. It's sorta hard to miss. So make sure to dance your way to enjoy about an hour's worth of the craziest building in Prague.
Okay, travelers, so I am getting ready to take you over to our next tourist destination, and it is the Vizarod area. Now, Vyšehrad actually means high castle, so there's so much history here. I mean, it's a military fort that has been around for 1,000 years. It was a royal residence, religious center, so there's a lot going on. It's actually more famous for its cemetery, so if you have time for a creepy walk, go check out the cemetery. We're just gonna actually get the view of this because it's one of the views that's often overlooked by tourists, so it's mostly popular with the locals. I'm sure there's a reason for that, so let's find out.
Walk into a more natural part of the city. Perfect for avoiding the larger crowds. Here we come, Vyšehrad, where the religious sites are almost as incredible as the views. Soak up the scenery as you take a stroll through what some might confuse for a simple park on a fortress. But Vyšehrad is so much more. Make your way over to the Basilica of St. Peter and Paul and immerse yourself in neo-Gothic architecture and religious imagery. The perfect stop before finally heading down to the infamous Vyšehrad Cemetery. Once you arrive, get ready to get lost in a maze of some of the coolest looking headstones belonging to many famous composers, artists, sculptors, and writers who are no longer with us.
Hey guys, I am still in Prague and I am getting ready to take you to another tourist destination. This is actually called the Lennon Wall here in Prague, and it's kind of famous because it's this giant wall that in 1980, after his assassination, there was an artist who drew a picture of him. So it has been continued, and now if you go to this wall, there's a bunch of lyrics, lots of art, and it's all homage to Mr. John Lennon himself. So yeah, while you're here, make sure that you get your Instagram-worthy pictures by going to the John Lennon Wall.
Our last stop takes us into the hidden depths of the city to find one of its most famous memorials, the Lennon Wall. Originally, the wall was decorated by love poems and short messages against the regime until an artist decided to paint an image of the singer and some lyrics following his assassination in 1980. And since then, the wall has been a source of protest, even inspiring a movement known as Lennonism. Today, the wall stands as a symbol of global ideas of love and peace, so just let it be and make one quick stop that won't last more than 30 minutes, and commemorate freedom by visiting the Lennon Wall.
Hey travelers, Simon here. Unfortunately, it is time to say goodbye as I have a plane to catch in about an hour, so I have to get going. But my time here in Prague has been amazing. I really love this city. At times I felt really overwhelmed because there's just so much to do. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I didn't cover everything that there was to do here. So if you feel like there's something that other travelers should really know about in Prague, please leave a comment below. What were your favorite things that didn't make it on the list? I do want to give a special shout out to my friend Ivan. When I first arrived to Prague, I had done no research, so he is actually living here and gave me the insider scoop on things to do here. So I followed his list pretty thoroughly while I was here. I did do my own thing as well, but if you guys want to follow him on Instagram, his name should be somewhere on the screen right now, and He has a lot of travel pictures as well. He's a fellow traveler, so follow him on Instagram. I do want to say thanks again for watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button below. I would highly appreciate that. Anyways, it's time for me to go, guys. Thanks again for watching. This is Nomad. I'm signing out. See ya!
Like my videos? Subscribe for more.